What's going on, y'all? The intro didn't play like usual.
I'll just play it.
Yo, Prince one of them ones, I'm in the mix. Talking hoops, dropping gems, let's fix.
You trying to play it or no?
Yo, Prince one of them ones, I'm in the mix. Talking hoops, dropping gems, let's fix. Women's ball, we elevate, bring it to the mainstream. Key coming with facts, we a dream team. Break down plays, ain't no cliches. From the court to the screen, every detail display. Got the WNBA shining bright. Click the like button if you feeling it right. Excuse the takeover, taking charge. Women's game front and center, living large. Hit that subscribe, stay tuned to the ride. We bringing the heat, never gonna hide. From sky hooks to switches, we capture the wishes of ballers making waves in the biggest of dishes. Prince one and key, got the knowledge artillery, dropping truth bombs effectively, brilliantly. Excuse the takeover, taking charge. Women's game front and center, living large. Hit that subscribe, stay tuned to the ride. We bringing the heat, never gonna hide. Analyzing chat, every stat interact, breaking barriers. No cap, that's a fact. Leave a comment below, watch the growth unfold. Together we gon' make this story be told.
What's up? What's up? What's going on, y'all? Another week of Excuse the Takeover, where you get all the latest and greatest on women's basketball topics. I got Prince here with me. How you feeling, Prince?
Man, all good, man. All good, man. Hey, look, appreciate y'all, rocking with us. You already know, hey, this episode 8, we got a lot to get to. I'm actually excited. We got some good topics, some great conversation about to happen. So shout out to everybody pulling up from Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Go follow both our pages. But yeah, I'm ready to get to these topics, man.
For sure. It's been a crazy week in basketball, I would say. Sweet 16. We saw some people feel like upsets. I think we all kind of knew. And Elite 8 as well. So it's a lot to talk about. For sure, the quote unquote rivalry that has started with UCLA and LSU year 2. I guess they building that. What do you feel like when it comes to LSU and how they lost to UCLA? Do you feel like that has to do with why last year Poa and Samaya Smith are entering the transfer portal? Do you think it's just a game? Do you think it's the season? What do you think it is that has them entering the transfer portal?
I mean, it's a new wave in college. The hometown kid don't exist no more. That's not a big topic anymore. The what do they call it? The franchise college player, that's non-existent and been non-existent in men's, with the one and done. I mean, honestly, I think like players are really just trying to take control over who they play for, their happiness when they play basketball. I mean, in some instances, I'm like, nah, you got to ride that out. Like you built that, you the reason they didn't make it. You got to go back, prove your point. But those who are just looking for a fresh start, as far as like not being on like a true winning contender, want to prove themselves, want to raise their draft stock, I got no problem with those. It's just the ones where they kind of crumble and want to just jump ship try to find the next best thing. I mean, to each his own. I ain't gonna never tell a player, you know, what college they can go to, where they can go, their right to kind of move around. But I would like to see, you know, some kind of like, I would say, streamline of like player movement instead of like every year 1,700, because I think right now it's like almost at 1,800 players in the transfer portal. That is wild. Like I don't know how many are actual D1. I know they're counting all of college basketball, all divisions. So I don't know how many are actually D1, but even D1, like that's a lot. That's a lot of players. That's, I mean, just moving around. I mean, it's like, look, college basketball is becoming AAU. Like, now that I'm talking about it, like, I didn't really think about it that deep at first, but like now that I'm really trying to think through it, college basketball is becoming AAU. Whoever got the prettiest uniforms, whoever got the best players, whoever got the coach everybody likes, that's where everybody's going. I feel like most players, if you're a top 5 pick and you got nothing else to prove, go in the draft. If you do got something to prove, get a team. I like what Haley Van Lith did. They didn't, yes, they didn't make it to the Final Four, but I like her redemption story. I mean, she went to a program that had never been to the Elite Eight in their school's history. And I mean, so I like what she did. I mean, she can possibly be a borderline first round pick all of a sudden out of nowhere. I definitely got her going in the second round, hands down. But I mean, depending on what the other players do and how teams kind of shift around, she could potentially get one of those last 2 picks of the first round. Both of those teams need a point guard, and we'll get into, you know, some of the picks later on. But I mean, hey, go to one of those prove it schools, you know, like don't go to a superstar program if you're really trying to prove yourself. Go to one of those prove it schools that are like borderline making it, borderline top 32 team. They just need somebody to get them over the hump. WNBA teams want to see that. So a lot of these college players got to realize that. So I like what Haley Van Lith did. I wish a lot of more seniors and juniors that do want to come back, go to a transfer portal, would do that instead of going team up, stuff like that. Like even Kiki, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think she should have stayed where she was, you know, hit or miss. I mean, it is what it is, though. Player movement, player empowerment, I'm all for it, but I wish it was a little more streamlined.
Okay. I mean, when I saw that Samaya hit the portal and then I saw Poa hit the portal today, it wasn't a shock to me, to be completely honest. I know that they're really close for one. But also Poa didn't get a lot of playing time this season. You know, rather you feel like she deserves it, doesn't deserve it, things of that nature. I think for her coming from that championship team, you know, she was the point guard during that time. She had a lot more playing time. Even with HBL last year, she was able to play in tandem with her. I rewatched the LSU versus UCLA 2024 game today while I worked, and Poa was in there. And honestly, she had to sit. Kim sat HBL a lot, actually, to have Poa in the point. And then this year, you had Dave Wilson, who struggled as a point guard, Kaylin Gilbert. I mean, every player struggled. I'm not saying that Poa is a first-round draft pick, but she is somebody played before. She can do it. So I was just wondering, like, why she didn't utilize her a little bit more. And there might be, you know, a lot of things going on. So with that, I'm just like, I think for her, she's just like, well, I'm probably not going to play anymore next year because there's a whole new recruits coming in of guards, bigs, all of that. And then the transfer portal for LSU too, people coming in. So she probably just like, you know what, let me just go see. You know, I feel like she kind of don't have nothing to lose, to be completely honest. A team might find value in Poa. I won't say like I mean, she's coming from a championship program now, and was a part of that team. So yeah, a team might value just that type of thing from her. And she's a defensive guard. So best of luck to Poa. I feel like, and hopefully this last year, she can prove herself, maybe even just to herself. So Samaya just came back from injury this year. So it's like she's 6'6'1", power forward. But she plays a lot around the rim. Now that could have been Kim, more than any. Oh no, you know what? No, did she have Anissa at the 4 and Samaya at the 5? Huh? I'm tripping. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Then okay. Well, she's not. I don't know. She's only like 6 foot, like 6'1", I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Do you think she's out of position?
That's possible. It's like I don't know because I haven't seen her skill set. I did see her hit a couple mid-range shots. It was like from the side of the basket. But I'm not really sure like where she should be just because I haven't seen it. She went out so early in her career. She just came back this year, and honestly, she was struggling mentally. You could tell she was struggling mentally, like worried about if she's gonna tear her ACL again. So for the tournament, though, she played to me one of the best for the tournament. And I think somebody said it could have been you, could have been Keisha, was like, oh, she's a tournament player. Like that's the type of player she is. She shows up in the tournament. I don't know if finally she got out of her head about it, but I thought she played well for the tournament. Maybe somebody finds value in her somewhere as well as a 4 or a 5. But best of luck to the both of them. I don't see anything wrong with them transferring out. It's not what's going on at LSU to me. It's just what it is. For their team, it's what it is, y'all, because their core championship team is basically gone. Michaela was the next year after they won the championship. So it's just the way things siphon out that they just kind of would be just there, and they don't want to do that. So I think that's just as simple as it is, to be completely honest. So yeah, best of luck to Poa. I know she was fighting for her NIL money with the government lawsuit, all of that stuff. And best of luck to Samaya coming back from injury as well. But with all that being said, we got to get into another LSU member, Big Foe. Big Foe is what they call her. That's what she calls herself. What's her next move? What she gonna do after that horrid performance in her last game? Does she look like a top 5 draft pick this year? So many questions. I thought they had 48 hours to declare. Like I could have sworn after their last game they have 48 hours. So I thought she had to give us an answer yesterday, but we still have no answer. Do you know what the rule is?
I was kind of doing some research. I was listening to kind of like Twitter yesterday where they were saying the 48 hours after your last game played, which would have been 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central last night. But I was doing some more research earlier today, and apparently it's 10 days before the draft. So she has until tomorrow midnight to decide if she's going to stay, transfer, or declare for the draft. So it apparently, and I don't know how true that is. It's just reports. People, I seen a write-up. Somebody actually did a write-up on the sports channel that it's 10 days because I think she can still stay. So I think the 48 hours is for seniors.
Gotcha.
Yeah. When you can't actually go back. So I think if you can go back, they give you 10 days just in case if you want to kind of take time to see if you want to go in the transfer portal, find a new school, give you time to do that because you can't do that in 48 hours. So I think that's what it is. Yeah. So I think she got the 10 days.
I see some of our people saying that as well. Okay.
All right.
So what was I gonna say? So let's play pretend, right? Your big four, you had the season you had last season. You have a decision to make. Do I stay? Do I go? I'm just going to throw this one in here that I know she wouldn't do, but do I transfer? Whatever. What do you do after the year she's had? I don't know how you feel about the year she has either. So what would you do? And I'm gonna answer the question after you. You're a big four though. Don't look from the outside. You heard.
Okay, I'm big four. Um, I think she needs to go in the draft. I mean, going back, Kim got the number one class, recruiting class.
I believe so.
I think she has one of the top 10 point guards and two of the top 10 shooting guards or top 12 shooting guards coming to LSU next year. And she has the top, I know for a fact, because she's from Louisiana, she has a top a top 5 small forward coming there next year. So, I mean, that's really your backcourt. I mean, and when you're top 10 out of 300, you're looking for playing time even in your freshman season. You're looking to prove yourself. You're looking to come in and not play back fiddle. I would say she doesn't. I'll say LSU first, right? I'm gonna give her if I'm Flau'jae, I'm sitting down. I got a board, right? I got LSU, I got transfer portal, I got draft. If I look at LSU, I tell myself, what do I have to go back to prove? I already won. Everybody at LSU knows I love Louisiana. I got nothing to prove to the fans. They know I'm ride or die for them. They know I've gave them 3 years of my college career. I helped get them to a championship. Yes, I wasn't solely responsible. It's a team effort, but I was an integral piece. I was a core piece to that championship team. I came back, ran it back, made it to the Elite Eight, came back, ran it back, made it to the Elite Eight again. I mean, I got nothing else to prove as an LSU Tiger if I'm Flau'jae. Transfer portal. Where can I go where I can make a difference, where it doesn't look like I'm actually riding someone's coattail? That's a tough one. If you think of, unless she's going to, unless she's going to Tulane, or Louisiana Tech, I'm thinking of Louisiana colleges, Louisiana Tech, she got nothing to prove to none of the stack schools, and I wouldn't want to. Transferring for her doesn't make sense because she's already cemented her legacy at LSU. It really doesn't make sense. Her just going win a championship doesn't help her stock. I don't see how she can get better staying in college. Basketball is basketball. She's been there 3 years. In 3 years, if you can't shoot, you ain't gonna shoot. In 3 years, if you can't play defense, you ain't playing defense. In 3 years, if you ain't been rebounding, you're not rebounding. In 3 years, if you ain't been facilitating correctly, you're not facilitating correctly. If you 3 years into your college career, you pretty much are who you are. You pretty much have defined kind of like what your skill set is. You can get better at your skill sets, but her skill sets isn't stopping her from being a top 3 pick in the draft versus going back to school. So transfer portal for me, that's out. Doesn't make sense. Now in WNBA draft, that's a different story right there. I mean, I know everybody harps on the rookie scale contracts or whatever like that. I'm pretty sure with the new CBA in 2026, CBA contracts are going to get kind of to that. I think they'll get to that 6-figure mark. I know they want their royalties as players, jersey sales, ticket sales, like the NBA gets. The NBA players negotiating. I think that's their biggest negotiation too this offseason. Well, next offseason is really to get their profits from basically all the team merchandise sales and things like that. So hopefully they get that, man, because they deserve it. It's their name. It's kind of like, it's weird. We'll get into that one day, but that's weird. I won't get too deep into it. But college, nothing to prove. Transfer portal, no. LSU, nothing to prove. You don't need to be, you know what I'm saying? Thinking of going back. Now WNBA, I don't care about the $76,000 rookie contract. First of all, because the NIL deals that turn into endorsementships and even more, because the colleges that you're at, sometimes endorsements, they don't like to endorse those colleges. If you ever watch the Nike commercial with Cooper Flag, Flau'jae, and paigebueckers, they don't show Connecticut or USC jerseys in the commercial. They literally green screen them out because certain colleges got certain deals or certain approvals. If they're not getting profits off of it, if they're signed to a competitor, those things happen. So in college, certain big NIL deals aren't achievable. But once you turn pro, you're able to get a plethora more, the Credit Karmas, the Card Maxes, all of those. So for Flau'jae, I don't think, and I don't think money contracts is a big thing to her. So I don't see why the WNBA draft isn't in her future in the next 2 weeks. The draft is on the 14th. So over the next 2 weeks, I don't see why the WNBA draft shouldn't be at the top of her board. So that's why I stand. She should be in the draft.
Okay. All right, y'all. Okay. I liked his little poem he just gave us just now. You understand? So look. Before I give y'all my perspective, I'm gonna just stop for a second. It's 191 of y'all in here. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're on Facebook, come on over to YouTube and subscribe. You could keep listening on Facebook, but come over to YouTube, subscribe to I Am Zoe Media and WBB Universe. Okay, make sure you subscribe to both channels. If you're following me, follow I Am Zoe Media. If you're following I Am Zoe Media, follow me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the all notification button so you know every time we drop a banger. Excuse the Takeover is the best show out right now.
Best show out. Hey, look, we got 194 people in here. They not like us. They not like us. They not. Look, I was talking to somebody from Louisiana, and it was like, man, where you been at, man? I be seeing you on YouTube, but I don't be seeing you on like Facebook and stuff. I be doing my thing, man. I be doing so. Shout out to Louisiana. Shout out to Louisiana, man. Shout out to Louisiana. But yeah, hit that like button.
If I'm Flau'jae, yeah, it's a lot of things to consider for sure. I feel like she probably struggling a little bit with figuring it out. She also has a momager. I think that plays a role in a lot of stuff when it comes to her. Transfer, I just said transfer portal because it's an option. I don't think she's going to transfer. So I don't think she's going to transfer. I think for her, it's literally, do I stay with Kim or do I go? And if I go, where do I go? You know what I'm saying? Like the concern of like, where do I fall to? What team do I go to? Also, what are her goals? Not to say that what she wants is going to happen, but some of these players want to start. They don't want to go to teams where they don't start. So I don't know if she's like, I want to start on a team or I'm good with coming off of the bench, things like that. Some of the things I noticed from her this year that would have me think she's leaning towards coming out is she seemed disinterested a lot. Doesn't mean she didn't play well per se, but she seemed disinterested. I can't explain it. And it's funny because rewatching the LSU UCLA game last night, I was like, oh, I mean, this morning, I see it. I see the difference in her. She's not as, it's weird. She's not as engaged. It was a lot of stuff. I seen. Our offense looked way better last year, by the way, guys. But anyway, I think those things she has to think about. And I think with all of that, and I have a selfish thing going on right now, y'all. I want LSU to be LSU's team to be Michaela's team. I wanted to be Michaela's team. And then it's like, I'm with you that I don't think she's gonna learn any. Her game is the same as her freshman year. Does she score more? Yeah, but it's the same spots, same corner, same everything. So no, I don't think it's gonna get any better. But I do find what's the word I'm looking for? Where I do think she needs growth is mental. So that's the only reason why I'd be like, because I think she needs more growth, maturity wise, things like that. But hey, maybe she gets thrown in the fire and figures it out. Some people are worried about the old guard winning over and she gets cut from a team because she can't edge out if she comes out this year. And maybe next year will be better for her. But all in all, I mean, my agenda is for her to leave and it to be MK12's team, and Flau'jae to go to the league and learn more about herself. This is gonna, like, I'm not a person who wants people to be humbled. Never that. Be confident in yourself, love yourself, all of that. But I do feel like sometimes she be thinking she like, and it's like, girl, you got a lot to still learn. And so, sit back, relax, and learn it from the pros and take that in, you know what I'm saying, and hone that. So I say she ends up going leaving. But I don't know. See, her and Kim Mulkey have a very close relationship. I know at the beginning of the season, her mom said she didn't want her to leave. So I don't know. She was like, if I do win a ring, I'm leaving, Mom. And they didn't win a ring. So we'll see, y'all. I'm excited to see what happens. If that pops up, I'm hopping on live. Breaking news. Flau'jae has just said she's entering the draft. So, and right before we get off of this topic, what number you have her going as?
She comes out. I got her at 2. I mean, Olivia Miles is in the draft. I got her at 2. I got to go into Seattle. I mean, Harston out. They need another wing scorer / kind of like, she doesn't really play defense but body on the wing. So, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I got her at 2. Where you got her?
Flau'jae 1 through 7 to me, y'all. I'm sorry. She 1 through 7.
1 through 7?
Yeah. I mean,
hold on. You mean 1 through 6? Because Mystics got 3 top 6 picks. I'm pretty sure if Flau'jae's in the draft, she's getting one of those picks from the Mystics because they don't got a lot of wing help either.
Okay. Well, then 1 through 6.
What Mystics has 3, 4, and 6, right? 3, 4, and 6. Yeah.
No, is this? Oh, it is. Is it 4 and 6 or 4 and 7? No, it's 4 and 6. I think
4 and 6.
I think it's 4 and 6. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I have her between there, like those numbers. I struggle, but they do. Seattle does need that, so I just don't know. I know people feel some type of way about this. I just don't know if they pick Sonia Citron instead of her, because to me, that would be a better pick. I know people want to cut my head off about that, but for Seattle, I think Sonia would be a better pick as far as her defense, etc. But yeah, that's just me.
I would say it depends on what personality they want.
Look, I said the HD. Yeah. I said the HD yesterday. I said because he said Seattle as well. I said, okay, so you just replaced Jewel Lloyd with another Jewel Lloyd. You got another player with a mama who be way too in their business and leaking information.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
I don't know if Seattle want to run that again. And Pokey is, she ain't soft. But also Flau'jae comes from a hard-nosed coach. So can she handle the fire? Can she deal with it? I don't know. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see this year what happens. Damn, now mind y'all, if she did go into the draft, I really would have loved LSU versus UConn because they could start a little fake thing between her and Paige. That would have been a great storyline enter the draft. But yeah, LSU couldn't get past UCLA. So but yeah, we'll be sure to keep y'all updated.
Hey, Key, I think we reached our first 200 viewer mark. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Have we ever had 200?
I feel like on one of our first, like between the first three, I feel like we did hit
Okay.
it, but I'm not sure. Then maybe this is. But look, it's 205 of y'all in here. Shout out to y'all coming through to hear some great takes. And look, with us talking about the draft, let's talk about somebody who just said never mind. You know what I'm saying? They said never mind the draft. Olivia Miles says she will forego the draft. You feel me? And run it back, but run it back somewhere else. Okay. Where would Olivia Miles fit best? I'm gonna give you the floor with that. I struggle to like think of a team to be completely on. Yo, Notre Dame has this imprint on their players that like I have such a hard time seeing them play anywhere else, to be completely honest. But tell me what you think.
That's this. Look, when I was reading this earlier before the stream started, I was like, this is a good question. I mean, her declaring to enter the transfer portal literally turned the draft and the transfer portal upside down. Because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Nobody gonna pick I don't think like the top players. I don't think none of the top players are gonna pick their school until Olivia Miles and Latson decide like where they're gonna land.
Really?
Because I think I could see a few players wanting to play with Latson wherever she goes, and I could definitely see a few, especially some shooters, maybe a big, trying to see where Olivia Miles lands to try to play with her, get their draft stock up. Again, remember, sometimes draft stock depends on who sees you. You go play with Olivia Miles, Tanaya Latson, you're going to get seen. You're going to get national televised games. You're going to get deep into March Madness, right? So all those things matter. Their agents are literally all of those things matter. So I think those two are the two most important people in here in this draft. But for Olivia Miles, thank you for turning the WNBA world upside down. And women's college basketball had the highest Sweet 16 rating in history. So she even brought more viewers. So we about to see what's about to happen with that. But I wouldn't mind her on LSU. If Flau'jae leaves, I wouldn't mind her on LSU because I think she could be just what Michaela needed because she knows how to play with a scoring guard. She did it with Hannah Hidalgo. I just think the system didn't work. I don't think it was really Hannah Hidalgo's play style. I think it was just her control and authority over the system where they butt heads at. Because when Hannah Hidalgo was on the court, I never really felt like it was any spite, any kind of like backdoor hating. Even on the bench, they talked a lot. Even off the court, I seen their little interviews. Even at practice, they jumping on each other back. So I don't think it really had nothing to do with them two playing together. I wish people stop spreading that rumor unless they got facts on that. I don't like to spread rumors. Like, stop spreading rumors. If you don't got facts from either of them, like, because I don't think Hannah Hidalgo is really a bad person. She looks sweet. I don't think she's a snotty-nosed, bratty person. I just think Olivia Miles had a different vision for her senior year, and it didn't play out like she wanted to. And next year, you got to remember, next year, Hannah going to be a junior. So that means that's going to be even more of her team, more responsibility on Hannah than even this year. So Olivia Miles probably just seen the writing on the wall of how the team would look and was like, I'm not really ready for the draft because I feel like I could play better. Or maybe she's aiming for that number one pick. Because, I mean, next year's draft is a little weak. So I think if she can get to a team like LSU, get them over the hump with all the transfers coming out, they still have, again, the number one recruiting class coming in. You still got Michaela still there. Great two guard. I think Flau'jae was in her way because I think they really played the same position. So because when they was on the court together, they weren't really running plays. It was your turn, my turn. So I think someone like Olivia could unlock her a little more, get her off ball a little more, get her to her spots a little more. That's my number one team. Fail safe team for Olivia Miles would be I'm about to shock people. I think a team that she could probably go to, stay on her same coast and do well would be Kentucky. I think her at Kentucky would be a good fit. I mean, Georgia Moore's leaving. They're bringing back all their shooters. I mean, that could be a sleeper team that she's probably got our eye on. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad fit. Their coach is energetic. It's a winning program. What did they get to did they get to the Sweet 16 this year? Or was it the elite 32? They lost in the round of 32 in that Georgia Moore layup, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, they were one layup away from the Sweet 16. So I mean, she could be the difference. I could see Kentucky. So all of y'all out there be taking my takes. Y'all heard it here first. I got LSU and Kentucky as the sleepers to get Olivia Miles.
Okay. Okay. So when it comes to Olivia Miles entering the draft, I think it's very simple. I think it comes to basketball. So anything I've ever said, it never is it's not any indictment on Hannah as a person. I don't know her, and I have no reason to speak ill of her. It's literally about her basketball play. So for basketball reasons, like you stated, the system, I can't, take over the team. I just don't mesh with her. It doesn't mean I don't mesh with her as a person. I don't mesh with her on the court. So I want to be clear in that. The coaching might not be working for her, things of that nature. And now the only reason why people are like, is because she wasn't the last one. And Notre Dame is a highly coveted school. I feel like people love to play there, stay there all 4 years. So having Kate Koval leave, all these other players leave, I think people are grasping at straws to understand why. And they can't see why. And they see what happened with Hannah, and that's their theory as far as, they don't like she does this and that or whatever. Now, I'm not saying I think that's cool, but I think people just grasping at straws because it's like, what's going on over there? But I even said this yesterday, y'all. I said it during the Chicago Sky season last year. This is normal. Like, this is locker room issues are normal. Like, it's not this thing to be like newsworthy. People don't get along. You got 15 person, you know what I mean? Plus 10 more on staff, personalities trying to get along. This is normal. This isn't something to be like, oh my God, what happened to her? Tell your story. Folks don't get along. They move on to another team. It's simple as that. They end their careers best friends sometimes. Seriously, you see it all the time. So now with all of that being said, when it comes to Olivia and where she could go, I struggle to see her on the SEC team because she's not hard nosed enough to play on an SEC team to me. And then it's like I don't want LSU backcourt to continue to suck. She's not good at defense, and Michaela isn't either. Michaela struggles on defense. So it's like they running point by committee and getting blown by. You feel me? So I could see it because when with Kim's system and how she works and the lack of offense, Olivia is, good in transition. Like you said, can help set up Michaela and stuff like that. So I could see what what you're saying. But I do struggle to see her on the SEC team because she come from softness. It's just the facts. But it could happen. It could happen. Now, when you brought up the Kentucky, that one slapped. The Kentucky slap. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The Kentucky one slap because she's just gonna be a taller Georgia Amore. Not they don't have the same play style per se, but she has been working on her 3-point shot, and it was way better this year. And I see her being very similar to Georgia Amore. Now, Olivia does have things to work on offensively, and maybe he helps her do that because obviously he's been with Georgia Amore that long, and he helped her set up a half-court offense, right? So maybe her going there would be perfect because he'll help her in setting up a half-court offense, which is something she needs to work on offensively. So I like that one. I could mess with that one. I'm gonna throw some other teams out there that's not my suggestion, but what I've seen people say. I've seen people say TCU. I've seen people say UConn. I can't see it. I can't see her on UConn. I ain't gonna lie. Trying to see. TCU, UConn. It was another team that I heard, but I can't remember what it was. Look, I think she could have came out this year. I totally understand where a lot of people are coming from, but realistically, she got 2 years under her belt playing. She probably feels like she has things to work on, and like Prince said, this year did not go the way she saw it going. I think this is literally her trying to, you know how sometimes we want to control a situation. I think she's trying to take back control of her situation by foregoing the draft, and saying, I'm going to go to what school I want to go to. Also, she is a do not contact. So whatever school she chooses is what she chooses. They can't come to her to covet her. So I think everything about it sounds like control. I think she just didn't like how this year went. She couldn't control it, and she wants to control her destiny with this last year. And yet the draft next year will be a lot slimmer, especially if Flau'jae comes out this year. So I see her obviously being high on the draft just like this year, which doesn't look bad for her. So we'll see. Again, this is another breaking news that I would be hopping straight on live about wherever she does pick. See where she picks. I'm so curious.
Hey, Key. I already got the thumbnails. I created the thumbnails last night, so I'm gonna text you. We're gonna go live as soon as they look. I got the thumbnail for Flau'jae and I got the thumbnail for Olivia Miles ready. I just need the news. I got both of them ready and locked in. I just need the news because I was supposed to do it last night. I literally had it on my screen. StreamYard up, ready to click save changes, but the news never dropped, so I went to sleep.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So yeah, we'll be prepared for that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. And speaking of her, you know, and her working on her offense and her point guard skills, we got another point guard to get a little bit into. Serena Sundell. She had 22.6 rebounds, 6 assists, and the Sweet 16 loss to USC. She played very well. She's a good player. I haven't got to watch enough of Kansas State this year to see, so I might have to run some games back. But I did see her keeping them in it at a lot of times. And B was pointing out, she's 6'2", running the point just like Maryland girl. Just like you know what I'm saying? Cheyenne Sellers. She was talking about that. She was like, dang, I just realized 6'2", she running the point. She be getting in the paint. Like she was like, she was like, they're actually very similar. That's what she was saying. So what'd you think of her performance in their fall to USC?
I think look, beginning of the season, she wasn't on my radar. I watched her play, you know, she's part of the point guard fraternity. I watched her play, but she wasn't on my radar per se, more than like Sellers, Olivia Miles, Georgia Moore, Like that was my top 3 on my kind of like watch list. Even Haley Van Lith, you know, here and there. But I watched her play. I maybe watched 12 to 14 games of hers, you know, because they played some good teams this year. They didn't play scrubs. So I watched like 12 to 14 games. I was impressed with her ability to just run the offense, not get too flustered, not get bothered. I watch her break presses. I've watched her run pick and roll to perfection. Like, I mean, yeah, she's playing, and again, remember, she's playing with Lee, who's probably a top 15 pick in this year's draft, averaging what 30, almost 30 and 12.
She forgoed it though, just so you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying like she was, you know, a top 15 player in the draft. So like prospect. So I mean, so she's used to playing with a dominant big. She runs pick and roll very well. Her defense is actually better than I thought it was. Like, I didn't think her coming into the season, I didn't look at her as a defensive player, but I watched games and I looked at her stats. I mean, one steal, 1 block a game. I mean, that's hard to do in college, especially as a point guard. I mean, so she's a steady point guard. I don't think she's a world changer, but she is a point guard you could take a chance on and see how she can fit, especially with a team like Chicago. They're still trying to build, you know, a core for the next 3 to 4 years. They're still trying to figure out what that core is. She runs pick and roll very well. That can work with Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. Cardoso especially. She runs the floor very well, the break very well. I know we rave about Olivia Miles transition offense, but her transition offense is just as good. Like, really, don't let it fool you. Actually watch her play. Her transition offense is very, very good. She has that underhand throw ahead pass. Lee averages maybe 6 points a game just off her fast court passes. Like, she doesn't even, and what I love about Sundell is she doesn't over dribble. A lot of point guards over dribble a lot. Like, they hesitate on their decisions, things like that. She doesn't over dribble. She just runs the offense. Again, she isn't flashy, so you don't really notice her that much. But I mean, you got Cheyenne, Amore. That's probably the 2 that I would pick over her. I would have her at 3 and Haley Van Lith at 4. If Chicago can get her, that wouldn't be a bad pick at 10.
So what does she do to change your mind?
Huh?
What does she do to change your mind?
Her steadiness.
Okay.
The way she ran her offense, even in March Madness, it didn't change. I really wanted to see, because last year I didn't watch her a lot. I knew of her. I watched her when she played certain teams that I was watching, but I didn't really pay attention to her. That's why coming into the season, I didn't think she was like a serviceable player on defense. But she's serviceable on defense. She's long. The only thing about her is she don't got no grit. She's like your. I know we try to know who she plays like. She plays like a point guard that tell me where the ball needs to go. She got like a John Stockton kind of like offense. It isn't flashy. I'm gonna get to my passing points. Passing points mean I'm gonna get to the elbow or whatever like that. I'm gonna get to my passing points and I'm gonna just give it to who needs to get the ball. And I think that's a lost art for a lot of point guards. A lot of point guards try to do too much these days. All that behind the back passing and all that. So I mean, she grew on me through just her consistency throughout the year. Like, she was consistent. I'm big on consistency. Like, and she grew. You could, like, I watched her last year. She grew this year. Like, the way she runs the offense, she literally controls that offense. Like, she grew this year. And what I like about her is your point guard responsibility is to get it to the shooter. Your point guard responsibility, USC, is to get it to your superstar. Lee gets the ball. Lee don't beg for the ball. Lee gets the ball. Sundell makes sure she gets the ball. So that's what I like about her. So, but Cheyenne Sellers and I think her and A Moore are tit for tat. I'll A Moore's height, man, and I think A Moore has more dog in her than her, like competitiveness, but not to say she's not competitive. I don't know. Her speed worries me, and her competitiveness that's the two things that worry me at the next level. Her speed and her competitiveness. So we'll see.
Do you know where they have her on the mock draft?
They got her going 16 to Chicago.
Oh,
They got her at 16 to Chicago. So
I don't hate it. I'm cool. I don't hate it.
yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Because do you think Sellers and who else I said was ahead of her? Well, Olivia Miles is in there anymore. Paige is going 1. Sellers won't be there at 10. And honestly, I would take if Jeff is like, I need a point guard I'm getting a point guard at 10. If Jeff says I'm getting a point guard at 10, right? It has to be Sundell. Now, there's players in the draft that are better than her, right? That he could probably take. But if Jeff's mind made up is I'm gonna get a point guard at 10 because we do need another facilitator. If you look at their team, they got wings. They front court is kind of solidified. They can get a stretch 4 in training camp or in the second round, right? Because they got 2 picks in the second round. They got shooting with Kia Nurse, Rebecca Allen, Michaela 50-50, Rachel 50-50, Ariel Atkins. So they got shooting. They need another facilitator and ball and shot creator, and I think she could do both. I think because she averages 15 and almost 8 assists, so I think she can do both, and she's a good shooter. She actually shoots league average. Like if she played I was looking it up yesterday. If she played in the WNBA, she would shoot the same shooting percentage as Damian Lillard. So she can shoot the rock, like per 36 possessions, according to attempts. Like, so she can shoot the rock. 30. She would shoot 34% in the NBA. She shoots 33% in the WNBA. So she's an average 3-point shooter, and she shoots 50% from the field. So, it ain't one of those make a commercial draft picks. You know, they get drafted, the commercial drops. It ain't one of those. But if you look at the draft and what Chicago needs, she would be serviceable, and she could grow with the team, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the reality is we have 10, 16, and 22. I mean, thinking you about to get some high-level talent at that point is crazy work. So, and not to say she's not high-level talent, but you get what I'm saying. This draft is going to be so interesting. It's going to be such an interesting draft this year. Last year was so predictable to me. As far as like who was going top 12 per se. Angel being at 7 was like, but besides that, you know, everything else was kind of predictable. I feel like this year, I think it's going to be unpredictable. But from what you describe, again, I haven't watched her myself, so I don't have anything to say. I'm the type of person, if I ain't seen it myself, I'm not going to give anything. So,
my draft breakdown is tomorrow. Sorry to cut you off, Key. I know everybody been asking, Zoe, when you gonna do one more draft breakdown? Serena Sundell will be my draft breakdown. She'll be my last draft breakdown, and that'll be tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm cool with it just because Vandersloot and Mo Jefferson do not get me hyped. So bringing a young point guard who can
learn like Mojo.
It stresses me out, to be honest. It stresses me out to hear that those are our point guards going into the year. It stresses me out so bad, actually. So I hope we get a point guard with one of those buttons, one of those picks. We'll see. But look, it's 254, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the all notification button so you know every time Excuse the Takeover goes live. You can always rewatch these two as well when we end the stream. If you're on Facebook, come over to YouTube, subscribe. You can still listen on Facebook, but just subscribe. But yeah, shout out to y'all for coming through, all 255 of y'all, to get this good basketball talking. But let's get into a little bit more about Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame back to square one? Olivia Miles is leaving. King, Sonia, and Maddie enter the draft. And as we talked about earlier, Kate Koval, 6'5" center. Kylie Watson, she was out this season. Emma something, a spot-up shooter, apparently. She might have been a wing, I'm not sure. And I think that's it. So basically, she has 2 players left for the most part. And maybe some freshmen, I think. Hannah Hidalgo and is it Cassidy?
That's on their roster.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can actually tell you. So they have. Why do they want to do that? They have KK, who probably be coming back. 5'11" guard. She's a junior though. Sarah probably leaving. Citron leaving. Hannah Hidalgo coming back. They got the freshman guard, Lucy Jensen. She all right. She don't really play that much. Liza Carlin probably going. I don't know if she's coming back or not. Latu King definitely going. Kate Koval coming back. So Olivia Miles going.
Kate Koval's leaving. She's not coming back.
I mean, Kate Koval leaving. My bad. Kate Koval leaving. Prosper, has Prosper mentioned anything yet?
She hasn't mentioned. Who else? I kept saying Cassidy. Prosper, yeah. She's still there right now. Yeah. And Emma Rish, one of their shooters that for some reason she never used. She's gone too.
Yeah, like she never used her. Like so, who they bring in? Hannah and maybe Carlin.
Even KK is a little bit of like, because she actually.
Do you think
she went into the
KK coming back?
She went into the transfer portal last year and removed herself and stayed. So now I'm like, I wonder if she enters it again now that this is happening, or does she stay? She was out on injury this year. So I don't know.
So you think she comes back?
KK?
Yeah. She has no choice because she was injured.
Maybe she does. Yeah.
I mean, this is look, man. Key, this bad. This is bad.
Listen.
This is bad. This is
terrible. It's clearly worse. That's why y'all can say whatever y'all. Anyway, I ain't finna get on that. This is bad, and I'm gonna list out the reasons why this is bad. And I'm gonna list out. Listen, I love Ivy down, but I know how the optics look to other people. It could not be true, but how it looks to other people. This is bad because, again, Notre Dame is one of those top schools that people look to as far as their basketball program. Muffet McGraw brought that program up, and since 2019, they haven't made it past the Sweet 16. And Niele Ivy is who took over in 2020. So the changes, what's going on, they're going to think it's her. Maybe they're going to, nobody ever left. Not nobody ever left, but Muffet McGraw never had 10 people leave at the same time or whatever. You know, some of them have to go. Obviously, 3 of them have to go. But, you know, that's how I feel as though her boss is going to see it. And you can have a great freshman class all you want to. It's still freshman. It's still freshman. You feel me? So she's going to have to hit that transfer portal and convince people. Mind you, even with hitting the transfer portal, people going to be looking at her like, I mean, people trying to transfer up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to transfer in here? So it's going to be a struggle for her. It's not looking too good. This is just a premature thought about next year. It's not looking good for them. It's not even looking like they make it to Sweet 16. So you haven't made it past Sweet 16 in 4 years. We haven't made it to Elite 8 yet. And whether you like Olivia Miles or not, Olivia Miles leaving looks bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad. You could love her, hate her, whatever. They're thinking you're a number 2 draft pick is leaving our school. And we're a guard university. They literally call us the guard university. Yeah. So it just don't look good for her. I want her to clean it up so bad because I just don't want anything to happen to her. And I believe that if she doesn't turn things around, let's say they don't make it to Sweet 16 next year and the year after that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about her job.
Hey. I'm sitting here while you talking. I'm wondering what she's thinking right now. Should I resign? Like, think about it for a second. Really think about it for a second.
Real quick, Prince, is it possible she's, because I was like, maybe she leaving. Is that possible? I don't think so though. But it's like, but go ahead.
Maybe look. I don't see how the AD at Notre Dame is happy. Well, what happened? This is their off season, right? It's not college off season, but it's their off season. You lost your second biggest player. Your other 3 biggest players, your other 3 starters are going into the draft. Maddie, King, and Citron. I mean, this is bad. Your 6th man off the bench, Prosper, is going possibly. This is bad. This is your best shooter's going, who you never played. I don't understand why she didn't give her minutes. Like, she's steady. Her and Carlin, like both of them, Rish and Carlin, like, why you not playing them? Like, she rushed Maddie minutes. She mismanaged. I'll say this, and I like Coach Neil Ivy, but she mismanaged Maddie's minutes. She brought her back into the starting lineup too fast, which was weird. They didn't need her in the starting lineup. Prosper was playing well. You were beating you beat USC without Maddie. You beat UConn without Maddie. Why are you rushing her back?
I couldn't understand
when Maddie came back. If you watch, something changed. When Maddie came back, if you watch when Maddie got back in the starting lineup, something about that team changed. The chemistry kind of like got thrown off whack. They started losing the teams they shouldn't be losing to. I would say Hannah needs to start recruiting. You got one of the biggest names in college. It's the transfer portal. You got 1,700 people to pick from. It ain't like you picking from like 50 people. If I'm Hannah, I'm going to Coach Neil Ivy. I'm like, give me the checkbook. Give me the credit card. Give me the jet. Let me go recruit. Cause this ain't gonna work. This ain't going. She needs a point guard. She needs a big. She needs shooters around her. And guess what she needs most importantly? She needs defenders, perimeter defenders around her. This ain't going to work. I'm going out on a limb here, Key. I'm going out on a limb. She might transfer. I'm going out on a limb.
Oh,
hey, I'm going out on a limb. I'm going out on a limb. don't be surprised. Hannah Hidalgo throws her name into the transfer portal once things settle down. I think she's keeping her eye on a couple people. I think she's keeping her eye on a couple high school recruits. She gonna be patient. She don't gotta say it now. She gonna be patient, but don't be surprised if she enters that transfer portal and Coach Nell Ivy resigns and they just start over. Key, let me ask you this: do you think Coach Nell Ivy's tenure has been a failure?
It's like no, but I could see how others might. That's all I could say.
So, okay, so 4 straight Sweet 16s with that team, is that overachieving where they supposed to be, or was it a failure? If you just look at it, just take surface level. 4 straight Sweet 16s with that amount of talent, right? Is that a failure? Is that right where they're supposed to be, looking at the roster, or did they overachieve?
It's like average to me. I don't think it was an overachievement or an underachievement. I think they had injuries, and she worked well with them, even with having injuries, and she was able to do a lot. But, and this is no indictment on her. I feel like the mess up she's doing is what she's supposed to do, but she's under a magnifying glass. She's messing up. I mean, she's in her 4th year of head coaching. She's still learning. She's not no Hall of Famer coach, Gino or Kim or Dawn or nothing like that. She's still learning. And I think she just went away from what she knew. I think she started to just go away from what she knew and what was working. Why? I have no idea. But to me, I can't say it was an underachievement or overachievement. I feel like it was just like this. That's all it was. Yeah. That's all I could say.
You say that like it's so that means you view them as an average team.
Let me get to this super chat real quick because I know.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.
And shout out to Steady Servant ENT for the $2 super chat. He said, I told you. I said what I said. Terrible.
You gotta get off of Hannah, man.
Appreciate the $2 super chat, Bro Claude. No, I can't explain it. They're not no, I don't think they're an average team. But I think because you weren't an average team, you shouldn't have been so average. At least, for me, I'm like even USC made it to the Elite 8. So I think Gottlieb got to the same place she got last year. Now, depending on if Juju comes back half season or she redshirts, next year they should give her a wash. The season that Juju comes back, it's like a comeback from injury season, but I believe she's a phenom, so I believe in her. That season, Final Four would be my expectation out of Gottlieb. Even the freshmen will by then be juniors. So that's how I'm thinking, right? Your first year, you got the Sweet 16, cool. And that's a possible overachievement in your first year. Second year, you get back there. It's the 3rd and 4th year, you feel me, that has her looking a little why you couldn't get over the hump. Okay. I would say last year was arguably less competitive than this year to me, but I would have to look at their March Madness from last year because obviously things be different depending on where you at. But I would think just all around in the women's college basketball, I feel like last year was less competitive. Not like nothing too crazy, but it was just less competitive than this year. So to me, it's like Sweet 16, Sweet 16. The next year should have been an Elite 8. This year should have been a possible Final Four.
Yeah. So, and let me tell you the reason why I asked you that. This is the reason why I asked you that. So, what if I told you to start the season? What if I really listen to this? What if I told you to start the season? Notre Dame would be going home the same time Duke and Tennessee would be going home. Would you have believed that?
Tennessee would be going. Elite 8 is when they went home. Let me think. What you feel like Duke and Tennessee is under Notre Dame? Like Notre Dame's a better team than Duke?
That's why I asked you. Not right now. Don't judge 2020 hindsight. If I told you to start the season, Notre Dame would be sitting at home before Duke and Tennessee, what would you have said? What if you had told me I'm crazy?
After the UConn and USC, hell, you know what I mean? Yeah, you like
no. That's what. So again, you judging them 2020 hindsight. Don't put the Olivia Miles, Hannah Hidalgo.
That's not what I have in my head.
That's why I'm asking you. So that's why to me it's a failure.
Oh, it's to you it's a failure. See, I'm
even
saying it's an average. It's a failure.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, because that's why
they was a Final Four team after UConn and USC. They was like in your head. Obviously, it's premature, but you like, oh, this team they could take it there. They could get to the Final Four. You could be UConn and USC. You could get to the Final Four. Now it was obviously early in the season, but they were just firing on all cylinders. They were seamless, all of that, and they just ran out of steam by the end of the season. So I can see why you think it's a failure. I definitely, like I said, last year should have been Elite 8. This year should have been at least Final Four. Or if you want to give her grace, Elite 8, Elite 8. But you got bounced out of the Sweet 16 both years, and no shade, right? But to TCU, a team that you played earlier this year lost to, so y'all should have been prepared and ready to beat them this time, and you didn't. The game was actually close a lot. And the craziest part is Muffin McGraw be there in the studio. I know she be. And breaking down their games with the other two analysts. And Muffin McGraw is very much still close to the program. It's so much to say. It's a lot. Are they back at square one? Absolutely. They're absolutely back at square one. And if Hannah Hidalgo hops in that portal before April 24th, they for sure will.
And again, I don't think she's going to do it, Key. But the way that this looks, it's a possibility. Remember, these players got power now as far as like where they want to go with this portal. So maybe in the past, a player like her wouldn't have transferred. In the past, a player like Olivia wouldn't have transferred. But this transfer portal has unlocked the player empowerment in college. So for me, nothing's off the table until it's said and done. Until the season starts, nothing's off the table for me. Looking at this landscape, nothing's off the table.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's gonna go either. This school is so aligned with her, like as a person outside of sports and in sports. But like you said, nothing's off the table with the transfer portal. And then that's why I'm like, I wonder if they give Niele that grace because we're in portal times, right? So I don't know if they'd be like, you know what, like, hey, these players, like, it's not you or whatever, but it's tough when 4 players back to back hit the portal, even if that's what I'm saying, it's optics, even if it's not you, they're gonna be looking like why people don't want to stay and play for you. Cause like you want a coach like that who's starting to set that Hall of Fame career. People go to play with Dom. People go to play with Gene. They don't go for the program, PhD, la la la. You know what I mean? I want to play for Gino. I want to play for this coach. I want to play for Kim Mulkey. So it's hard to say she's creating that name for herself now that many people are leaving. You know, LSU was only at, and it could be more, but LSU was only at Samaya and Poa, and everybody's like, like that's not a. Now if Michaela Williams, that's a Olivia Miles situation. If Michaela Williams leaves,
Oh man, that's bad.
that's bad, but he's not, you know, and so well, I don't see it. She has till April 24th, but I don't see.
But
that.
it wouldn't be bad though because of their recruiting class though.
What would if Michaela left?
No, I'm saying LSU isn't in as worse a position because of their recruiting class.
Because of their,
so
yeah.
Michaela is probably looking at it like,
I'm good.
We're bringing in, you know, a recruiting class, you know, and then we got the transfer portal. So like for me, LSU really just needs to hit on one or two players in the transfer portal. Notre Dame needs at least 4. So that's where I'm at. That's why I'm like, LSU, they just need 1 or 2 solid players. They're bringing in the number 1 recruiting class. Notre Dame needs to get to work.
Facts. I mean, I got Notre Dame not making it to Sweet 16 next year. I hope Niele Ivy makes a liar out of me. I hope I'm eating crow. I wish her nothing but the best. But I have them not even making the Sweet 16 next year. This is a very premature statement, y'all. So don't take it too serious. But if we're just going off of their situation right now, how much better they could get, it just seems like they won't even make it to Sweet 16. LSU, on the other hand, if they do exactly what Prince just said, I think they'll be just fine, to be completely honest with you. I think they'll be even better. They was clunky this year.
So? They'll be better than this year?
If Flau'jae, sorry, y'all. Asterisk, if Flau'jae drafts, I think LSU will be just fine and better. That's my, and if they hit on all cylinders with the freshmen coming in, with going to the transfer portal, get you if you don't get you an actual big, and don't make me mad next year, Kim, don't go get no wing player who's 6'5" and can't play center. Get you an actual big, because if you're not gonna construct the offense that Jersey could play in, because she's clearly not a big, like, so yeah, she just needs to get her actual big and a wing, like you said. And I think LSU would be fine. I think they make it back to Sweet 16, Elite 8. And it really just depends on where they at. So we'll see. Hey, wishing you nothing but the best, Niele. Wishing you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
But let's get into USC. Let's get into what's next for Juju and USC. Kiki and Marshall to enter the draft, and Juju is expected to miss first half of the season. I mean, USC is so dependent on Juju. I think that's why people are even just throwing this in there. People are even like, maybe USC need to get which they're not comparing her, so, but they're just saying a high level scorer to fill in Juju. But I think people have mentioned Tanaya Latson to USC.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to replace Juju's scoring. It's not a player that can replace Juju, but they're so dependent on they're so dependent on her. I don't know what's next for USC. And I don't know. She's expected to miss the first half of the season, but I'm putting everything on the table. She could absolutely redshirt next year and be out the entire season. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. What you thinking?
it starts with Gottlieb, right? Like she got to figure out like how she wants to run this team because you can't win with how you are. You like their team is Juju or bust, but you had Kiki with Juju, so you really didn't notice it as much. But with Juju out, you get to really see the other players, right? You get to see like what they're good at when Juju's not there, and they're not good at anything. I mean, Marshall is a workhorse. What's her name? The one that was guarding Paige. Kennedy? Is that Kennedy?
Kennedy Smith.
Kennedy Smith. I like Kennedy Smith. I think she's better. For some reason, something's off because she's better than she plays. Like I watched her in high school.
Her offense is weird to me. I ain't gonna lie.
Like I watched her come out of high school. Like her offense has fallen all the way off the cliff. It's like she can't even shoot. Like what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of how Gottlieb is using her? She kind of like lost her because that happens to some players. Like believe it or not, like you could throw them off their game by how you're using them, and you give them a certain responsibility that they didn't have when they were the player that they were normally being. So she needs to get the right type of system to fit around Juju versus saying, Juju, you're that good. I'm gonna just put Larry or girl down the street or girl I seen at the skating rink and or girl I seen pumping gas at the gas station. Because that's what the other day looked like against UConn. They had a girl that they picked up on the way to the game that was pumping gas. They had another one they picked up that was getting a macchiato from Starbucks. And then they had one that they met at the grocery store because one of them needed a snack before the game. Like, I don't know what that was they had out there, but that ain't going to work next year. That ain't going to work. Juju ain't going to be there, Key. But when do you think Juju coming back?
I said, that's why I said next year is a wash.
So you don't think she's coming back at all?
It's possible for her to redshirt next year. And honestly, it might be best for her to redshirt next year. Seriously. ACLs are hard to come back from because she could even come back, but it's like, why force yourself? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. It's possible for her to come back, but either way, I'm looking at next year as a wash. That's just me.
I could get with you on that because Juju don't got nothing to prove other than coming back saying I'm healthy. But outside of that, she got nothing to prove. So for me, I could get with you on that because Juju can literally sit out and still be the number one pick, hands down. Like she got nothing to prove. Like she ain't like if she was in Olivia Miles shoes, she got to come back, right, and be healthy. But it's Juju we talking about, one of the generational talents of the late 2000s and 20s. So I could see her. I look her. I think I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Her competitiveness.
She's gonna want to come back.
Her competitiveness and her heart will be fighting against each other all year. Because her heart knows she needs to be 100% healthy. But her competitiveness, I'm telling you, right now, she gonna be fighting to come back for March Madness next year.
I think so.
If she does come back, it's gonna probably be a week or two before March Madness, get a couple games under her belt. No, I think I wouldn't let her know because that's too competitive. If she does come back, it needs to be before March Madness is their conference tournament, right? That's too competitive. I need her to slow walk back. So I need her to come back. If she does come back, I need her to come back 2-3 games before the conference tournament starts. Just so she can get some of those. Hopefully they got some lower tier teams on the schedule going into the tournament. If I'm her though, I'm sitting out. I need to be ACLs ain't nothing to play with. They could linger through the rest of your career. If it ain't monitored and recovered correctly, you could tear it again. It could slow you down. Like I need her to be 100% because this ain't her end game. The WNBA is her end game. So I need her to be 100% for the WNBA, not USC. Because again, remember, Key, she's the leading lady fighting for the one and done right now. So she's only at USC because she has to be. Think about that. Think about that too.
That's why my thoughts is just redshirted. I would just redshirt it. I ain't gonna lie. She should just redshirt it. She doesn't have Juju is a phenom. You know what I'm saying? Juju's a phenom. So sitting out for a season ain't messing up her future. That's not gonna stop no team from wanting her. That's not gonna stop anyone from thinking she's as good as she is. And that senior year, you can, that would be her senior year. That senior year, you can show them you're healthy, you're fine, you're good. Because that is what they would want to see before she goes into the draft. And you show them you're healthy, you're fine, you're good. Hopefully you win a championship that year. But she ain't even the type of player that people really would even care about that. She's such a phenom that it just doesn't matter. I think in Juju's case, you redshirt the year, you don't rush back. I think they said the earlier you come back, the easier it is that you tear it. There's high percentages, so it's just one of those things. Now I wonder if they rescheduled the USC versus SC games. They have two of them coming, one in December and I think the other one in January. I wonder if they reschedule those just in case she does come back halfway through the season or something like that. But
they're not going to reschedule it because the TV rights is already in place, so they can't like reschedule it. But they could take it off of mainstream and just add another game into that TV spot. They still gonna play. They ain't gonna change the schedule set already. Like. They still gonna play each other, but it won't be on national TV like it was gonna be before. Okay. But one of them is in that. But isn't one of them in that little Maui thing they be doing where they like playing these neutral sites? It'd be like 6 teams at this neutral site. That's the December one, right? I think the December one is like this neutral site thing.
That's possible. I'm not sure.
Because I think UConn is in it as well. I think UConn is in it, and I think LSU is in it. It's that little tournament that they be doing around Christmas time.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, for me, USC is a wash next year. I don't have a lot of high expectations. And then the senior year, I think the expectation doubles for Gottlieb to get Juju a ring. So I think that year is gonna be we looking at you.
You think she's gonna be there?
Elite Eight. Oh, what you think I don't think the CBA is letting them come in. You think the CBA is going to change that?
No. You think Gottlieb is if Juju don't play next year, if Juju don't play next year, Gottlieb is going.
I don't know about that.
She is going.
We're going to see. I don't know about that. I don't think I mean, you're going to get a whole new coach the year Juju's out?
Okay. No.
We're going to see. We will see. It'll be
After
a topic
what I
when
just
it comes up.
Key. You got to remember, Key. That is a USC isn't a mediocre program.
I know.
They put a lot of money into Gottlieb in that program.
I know.
She's on a different pedestal. This ain't no get by the season. No. We paid you money. You one of the highest paid coaches in college basketball. Show me you can coach without your star player. And this March Madness, looking. And I guarantee you, he don't like what he's seen. And nobody can't believe me otherwise. I guarantee you he don't like what he's seen from the systematic approach they took. So trust me, this March Madness got eyes on her next season. Trust me.
I mean, if she recruits if she hits the transfer portal well, I mean, she could have some success, but I think that's what she's gonna have to do. She's gonna have to hit the transfer portal.
I mean, she again. This is what people need. Look, Key. You gotta remember this. Don't put her on Dawn Staley, Kim Mulkey, Gino's pedestal because she got Juju. Juju makes her talked about. Look, Gottlieb ain't no sought after coach. People got to remember that. She's not a sought after coach. She just has Juju. So her Juju not being there doesn't save her. Because Juju is the reason she's still there. That's why I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from the aspect of she's relevant because of Juju, not because she's just championship pedigree coach. She don't got Dawn Staley, Kim Mulkey leash. She don't got their leash.
I mean, I don't see her as no championship pedigree coach, but I don't think they firing her after 2 or 3 seasons. I just don't see it. And then, yeah, you got Juju the phenom. Listen, I just called her a phenom like 20 times. I get it. But that don't mean you make it to Elite 8 just because you have Juju. You can't win a game with just one person. You feel? So you got obviously decent enough teammates. I know, listen, it's and I don't even think it helps Juju that everybody thinks everybody around Juju is incompetent. And Juju is the only competent person at USC. They don't get that far if everyone else is incompetent. Stop it. It don't work like that. One player is not gonna win a game. She could shoot 50 points. You don't beat the other team by yourself. Okay. So that's how I feel about it. I don't think they fire her necessarily, but we'll see. I do think it's important that she's able to coach a team, like you said, without Juju. You have to be able to do that. Yeah. You got to be able to do that. So I do think that's important. I do think they look at that. And maybe, like you said, after next year, they fire her if she can't coach. I don't know if they get Juju a whole new coach her senior year. I don't know. But I'll say this, if she doesn't get Juju a ring or to the Final Four Juju senior year, I think she'll be fired then for sure. That's when I think she'll be fired. Because then in that instance, you had Juju, the phenom, and you couldn't get USC a ring. That's a whole different story. So that's my perspective. That's how I see it. But
yeah, I don't see. This is why I'm on Gottlieb though, Key. I don't think she has a bad roster. I don't. What I'm saying is, if you didn't know those players, you would have think she got one from the gas station and one from the store. If you didn't really know those players by the way they played these last 2 games, that's what you would think if you didn't really watch college basketball. But if you know these players coming out of college, they're competent role players. They were stars on their high school team. My point with her is, throughout the season, she didn't prepare them to play without Juju. She didn't prepare them to actually be themselves, and everybody just looked lost these last 2 games. Even against Kansas State.
Let's have a conversation then. Okay, let's have a real conversation then. What did y'all expect from Gottlieb as far as preparing them to play without Juju? Juju's playing style is a certain way that I feel like regardless of any team she on, that's how she plays. That's her playing style. She is ball dominant. She don't have to be. She can play off the ball, but she's ball dominant. You understand what I'm saying? And she's a sophomore, so she be doing little stuff too that drives me nuts, driving into 3 defenders, stuff like that. She's not I'm gonna assist. Now, I don't think she's a bad teammate. I don't think she's a ball hog. None of that. She is a phenomenal player, but she's not that much different than a Hannah Hidalgo, etc. in their play style. They're volume shooters. So how was she supposed to prepare a team with a Juju Watkins on the floor to play without Juju Watkins when Juju plays like that? I want to really hear what y'all have to say, because the way y'all make it sound is like Juju is Caitlin Clark on that team. Like Caitlin Clark was the best player on the team, and it's Caitlin Clark or bust, and all of this other stuff, whatever. And a lot of people feel like Caitlin Clark now, her personality is not the best because of what Lisa Bluter let her get away with and never reined her in. So do y'all think Gottlieb needs to, like, what does she need to do? Because you're not reining in Juju. So, I mean, I'm curious.
I mean, shooters gonna shoot, right? Juju, scorers gonna score. Superstars gonna be superstars. But what she could have did a better job at, I think Juju played too much, even in blowouts. Why you on the floor? See, that's what I mean about getting your team prepared. Because if I'm the AD, I'm going to watch all the film from this year. Look, if I'm the AD, I'm taking 2 weeks. I'm going to rewatch all the games and see what we missed at on the development of the other players. And just hindsight 2020, they missed out on how to manage Juju's minutes throughout the season to make sure other players were prepared. Like in blowout games, they're up 30 with 5 minutes left. Why is Juju on the floor? Put your guards in the game. Put your guards in the game. Run some sets so they can get used to playing basketball at the college level with Juju not on the floor. That's why I'm looking at Sunday's game, and they don't know how to play basketball without Juju on the floor. That's why I don't think they're bad players. I think she never taught them how to play basketball without Juju on the floor. They had no sets to go to because everything was just dribble, drive, throw it up at the rim. I did the film study yesterday. Too many times I've seen the guards just drive to the middle of nowhere. Like they don't know who to get the ball to. They don't know where each other's going to be on the floor. Juju is going to be Juju. You can't substitute that. Her play style, the system is her system. But as a coach, you can prepare for minutes without Juju coming down. Like basically, all right, USC went the whole season with one of the biggest points per game differentials in college basketball. You mean to tell me with a top 5 point differential in college, all of college basketball, you couldn't find time to sit Juju? Key, if you got a top 5 point differential, why does my superstar lead NCAA in minutes? How does that even happen? Look at the NBA, for instance. Steph Curry in their championship runs never was even the top 20 player in minutes per game. You know why? Because they were blowout games. He didn't even, Steph Curry, I think it was 2016 or 17. He missed 24 fourth quarters that season because they were blowing teams out. He didn't play in 24 fourth quarters. Why is Juju on the floor when you could be developing your freshmen to learn how to play without Juju on the floor? You could be developing your shooters like Kennedy to find her rhythm. You wasted minutes where you could have been developing Kennedy Smith to gain her offensive rhythm back. Even Kiki, run some sets through her, get her going, figure out how the team can play with her without Juju giving her the ball. You get where I'm going? Like and who says that could have been successful? It's hindsight 2020. Might not even have been successful, but at least they would have had some tape to watch on how to adjust with Juju not being there.
All of that is not wrong. That's not how I feel or even what I'm saying. I think you're absolutely right as far as she shouldn't have been on the floor that long and blowouts, all of that other stuff. But I personally, I have other thoughts about that. I just feel like Juju is as far as what she is as a player is no different than Caitlin Clark. Not their play style. She's obviously, we're not going to get into that. I think she's no different than a Caitlin Clark. I don't. I'm sorry. And she's probably even more not different because she's an actual superstar. So I struggle to like think that Juju wasn't on the floor during blowouts because of Juju. I struggle to think that Gottlieb has more control over Juju than Juju has over herself. I struggle to believe that. I think she's Lisa Bluter, Caitlin Clark, Gottlieb, Juju. She might have control of the rest of the team, but she don't got control of Juju. And so that's why I can't, and this is how I keep it fair. I can't look at it the same way y'all look at it. I'm sorry. I can't. Juju wanted to be on that floor because she wanted to be on that floor. You could call it stat padding. You could call it whatever you want. She was not going to sit that girl. That girl was not going to sit down. And I could argue that she's a 10 times better than Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark got away with that. That's just my perspective. So yeah, she could have did all of that. She could have taught the team to play better. The only thing I can say is if you weren't going to sit her down, then you needed to figure out how to get her to pass better. You needed to figure out how to get her to assist better, because regardless of if she's removed, then they will still know how to play because the ball is moving. That's the only, because ball moving is ball moving. Offense happening is offense happening. But you let Juju run the floor 9 times out of 10. You defer to Juju. So now everyone on the floor defers to Juju as well. Now that's where things get. Juju's not a bad person or a bad player. Sometimes certain stuff just is what it is. That's what it was with Caitlin Clark. That team knew we can't mess with Caitlin. It's Caitlin Clark or bust. Lisa Bluter respects Caitlin more than she respects us. So we defer to Caitlin on the floor as well, because our head coach defers to our star player. I think it's the same exact thing. They defer to Juju on the floor because Gottlieb deferred to Juju on the floor. That's an issue for her for sure. That is a problem. Like, that's not a good thing that your star player has more control than you. That's what I can say. And I think she should have taught them to play ball together better in a system so that if Juju was removed and another player was in there, y'all would still know how to play with each other. But that's just my perspective. I could be all wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I see it.
Yeah, and it's different than the NBA, right? The NBA, you players come to your team because they want to play with a certain player. In college, the coach has more control over the roster build. So when I look at a team, I don't judge them off of WNBA and NBA standards when it comes to college, as far as this team falls off because your star player isn't there, because that's not how college works. In college, you're recruiting like basically in college, you're able to recruit the all NBA team, the all WNBA team. You know what I'm saying? You get the pick of the litter. There ain't no budgets. There ain't no. I can't go get the number 1 player and the number 2 player to come here to play because I got the number 1 player. You can get the number 1 player 1 year in college and get the number 1 player the next year and the year after that, and the number 2 pick that year. So for me, I don't like the excuse when people say, well, Juju wasn't on the floor, that's why the team isn't good. That's on Gottlieb if the team isn't good, because she's the one that's supposed to be recruiting and building the roster, not just for Juju, but to be a successful team.
Yeah, I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
that's why I'm at with it. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm at with it. I don't think she built a sustainable team that will work without Juju, and I don't think she put her team in the best position to win.
I agree. That I can agree.
Starts with the games. Yeah, that's my whole argument.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think we're saying the same thing. I'm just saying I can see Gottlieb's reasoning for some of the stupid things that now, I'm not saying they're not stupid, but I can see why. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I was saying. But I think we think the same thing. I feel you. Like, you know, I'm only saying I think next year is going to be a wash because I don't think she's going to be able to do it. But let's see. And you feel like if she's not, she's gone. So we're gonna see. We'll see how Gottlieb does next year. How she recruits, who she gets through the transfer portal as well, and it's tremendous pressure when you have Juju going to your school. It's like it's almost like you like, I want to coach her because she Juju, but like, do I want that pressure? Because that's a lot of, I don't care about, that's a lot of pressure to have Juju on your team. Seriously. So she better figure it out though. Yeah. She better figure it out quick because I know that much. I think she has to get Juju a ring. I do think that. So, and now you're basically possibly down a year in getting her that. So you better figure it out. But yeah, I mean, prayers up to Juju. We obviously hope she has a speedy recovery and a successful surgery. I'm going to assume she already has surgery, but I haven't heard anything yet. So we're waiting for nothing but the best for, I haven't seen anything or heard anything that she got surgery yet. And like, I would want her to.
How long has it been? How long has it been? When did that happen?
You got to be at least a week or two. A week.
Which round did that happen? That happened in the 32, huh? Round of 32, right?
16, wasn't it?
16.
No, 32. No, you're right.
Yeah, because in 16, Kiki had the 44-point game. I think. Was it 16?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I mean, that's been what, week and a half?
Yeah, about
going on 2 weeks. So I mean, she right on par. I could see a report coming out in the next week. You got to let the swelling go down. Timing is everything. So I can see it like next 2 weeks.
You know what I just randomly thought about, y'all? This is a little bit off topic. Like, what if Juju turned into the GM? You know how they be calling LeBron a GM?
I mean, she already had. Oh, time out. You don't think? Hold on. See. Again, I think y'all giving Gottlieb too much credit. I don't look. Juju went to USC for Nike purposes only. Let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest right here. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. Juju is the recruiter for that team, not Gottlieb. You could go coach USC and get them same players. You go USC right now, and them same players will still come. Like, so I mean, Juju already there. She already LeJu. I call her LeJu. She already GM. Like she already there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She already. Yeah. Because why you think Kiki there? You think Gottlieb or Juju?
I think she thought going to pair up with Juju was going to do good for her. Yeah, I think she thought that. So for sure. No, that's what I'm thinking. I'm with you because I'm like, when she get to the WNBA, it's probably going to be so simple. Like I'm like, she's going to run things for sure. So yeah. Well, we shall see.
Juju could have came. Hey, look. If Juju was able to come out next year, the WNBA would have been flipped upside down because everybody would have been tanking. In the CBA, everybody free agents in 2026, Juju would have probably won the championship in her rookie season. Everybody would have been waiting for the draft. Yeah, that would have been wild.
But I do like the year she's coming out. But I do get what you're saying. That would have been crazy. That definitely would have been crazy. But I do like the year she's coming out and the talent she's coming out with. That's gonna be an interesting year that she comes out and see. She's gonna win Rookie of the Year, but like who's she gonna be battling it out with? Because there's so many prospects in that draft. Is she gonna be battling it out with Maddie Booker? Michaela Williams maybe wakes up even more. Those are the people I would think that I'm thinking off the top of my head.
I mean, you got Sarah Strong.
No.
No.
She a freshman.
She a freshman.
Yeah, she come out 2028. Yeah, so
but now that Juju got hurt, she might be a Juju draft. Her Juju might be the same draft.
Oh, yeah. Juju ain't staying no extra year to come out in 2028.
Hey, you just never know, man.
And
You just never know.
And you
She might not like. Look, Juju might not like the number 1 pick. She might not like who got the number 1 pick. So you got to think about these things. Again, you got to look when you think about a player like Juju, even Caitlin. Think about this. Think about this for a second. Do you think Caitlin would 100% came out if Indiana Fever didn't have that number 1 pick?
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yes. You don't?
No.
What is an Indiana Fever? Indiana Fever 5.
It's hometown. It's hometown vibes. It's I'm telling you, Juju, if she don't like that number 1 pick, I can see her staying. Look, high profile players like that, they move like
this
that.
Is what I will say.
The crazy thing is that the WNBA would set it up. They would try to figure out behind the scenes which teams Juju would like to go to, and they would make it happen that they get that number.
You took the words out of my mouth. I said the crazy thing about it is I believe Juju will be the first player that gets to pick where she wants to go. Seriously. I think that because everybody was saying it was going to be Paige, like Paige don't want to go to Dallas. So I'm like, Paige ain't that type of person. She's not that type of person. She's going to go to Dallas. She's going to do her 4 years. And then maybe after that, whatever happens in the 4 years, she might leave. She might stay. Who knows? But as far as Juju, I absolutely think she's coming out that year. She's not going to want to be in college because she's going to get to pick it's not going to be a surprise what team Juju goes to. She's going to get to pick what team she wants to go to. They're going to set it up that way. They're going to make sure it happens. Where the trades got to happen, whatever, it's going to happen. Juju not going to no Connecticut Sun. I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm trying to say. But they're in the sweepstakes. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Connecticut Sun is trying to get into the sweepstakes, and it's like she ain't going to no Connecticut Sun. So, I mean, we're gonna see.
Juju is going to the Golden State Valkyrie. I called it here first. Juju is not leaving California. Juju is not leaving California. Juju will be on the Golden State Valkyrie. Watch.
I could see that, but that's I could see that. And I've been said that actually. I said Golden, because somebody was like, damn, why Golden State ain't this and that? I'm like, they're a new franchise. They don't have to be good. Like, they don't have to be good. They pick good draft picks. They do little things here and there. Maybe in 2026, they grab some people because they know Juju's coming in 2027. That's all you got to do right there. Juju come in, you get Juju, your franchise going crazy. That's it. That's all you got to do. Now, there will be new franchises coming in as well. Portland and Toronto comes. And then I think 2028, her year, 2026, Portland and Toronto comes. And then I think 2027, when she comes out, it's a team that comes. But that team doesn't get the
it's the Cleveland team. And she
Cleveland
ain't going to
Cleveland. No, she ain't going there, but they don't get the number 1 pick in the drafts. They get like five, whatever.
Yeah. They'll get the number 5 pick like Golden State got. Because Juju comes out in 2 years, right? 2 years, right? Okay, that's 3 years as a Golden State franchise. They're going to be ready for Juju by then. Watch, they next 2 drafts, they're going to be drafting pieces to fit around. Watch, you're going to be like, why they drafted her?
No, I'm not going to be. You're talking to the audience because I'm telling you, I was like, they're in the Juju.
She's going to Golden State.
Like,
think about this. Why would you put another team in California? Why? Houston doesn't have a team. Really sit down and think about that.
I thought it was just Sparks and Golden State, LA Lakers, and Golden State Warriors. That's all I thought of it, to be honest. I thought it was just a woman Golden State team. Now, it's perfectly put.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The team makes sense for Juju. It literally just makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. I can see it. I can see Juju coming to that team, but that coach gonna have to do her homework. I'll say that. She's gonna have to do her homework and already have in her head how to pick players that work with Juju. That's what I will say. And that's the coach from Las Vegas Aces. So let's see what she has. Let's see. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. So,
Hey.
but yeah, look. Anyways, best wishes to Juju.
Hey, who's Golden State coach?
The coach from Las Vegas Aces. You ain't just hear me? The Asian woman. It's like Nayeon. I don't know what her name is.
I wanted you to say her name.
I can't remember her. I can look it up.
I know she come from the Aces. I just wanted you to say her name.
I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I could look it up though. Golden State Valkyrie head coach. I bet somebody drop it in the chat before I even look. Oh, Natalie. I was wrong, Naomi. Natalie Nakase.
Okay. She's decent. She decent.
She just better pick right. I mean, you getting Juju. Just pick right. Just pick right.
You think she got? I don't think she'll have any control over the picks.
Well, the GM is better to have actually. It's that black woman. Okay, I like that. Well, I know,
because I'm saying, look, they got a 2-year plan for Juju, so I think it's not about the coach. I think it's about the GM and the owner. They got a 2-year plan. Trust me, they got a 2-year plan for Juju. So these next 2 years, they 2 years of existence, everything gonna be set up to make sure Juju comes into a winnable situation. That's why I said so. I don't think this coach. I look, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go. You know me, I got wild takes. I don't think this will be Juju's coach if she goes to the Golden State. I don't think this will be a coach. I think this is a Passover coach. Honestly, I think this is a Passover coach. I'm interested to see her contract years, but I think she's a Passover coach.
Interesting. Well, we'll see. To talk about Golden State and what they're doing, pieces building around Juju, we got to get into the draft and the movement in the draft, where these picks are going. Before we get into this topic, make sure you hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Y'all been thugging with us. Y'all gotta love our voices, our takes, because it hasn't dropped below 260 since we've started this stream. It's gone up to 360, but hasn't dropped below 260.
I thought I was tripping. I thought I needed glasses at one time.
It was up there 3 something. So look, if you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe to I Am Zoe Media. You can still listen on Facebook, but come over here and subscribe to the channel. You'll get all notifications when we go live. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. But 2025 WNBA number 2 pick is on the move? ? It must be something you're thinking about. You're thinking that pick is going to be on the move. I felt the same way. But let me know what you're thinking.
I think this pick depends on Flau'jae. If Flau'jae comes out, Seattle keeps this pick. If Flau'jae enters the transfer portal or goes back to LSU, I could see this pick on the move, because I don't see nobody at 2 outside of Olivia Miles, Flau'jae, or Paige that could help Seattle. And I'm talking not even next year, the next 3 years.
Sony, you don't think Sony?
I'm talking, I don't think she's worth the number 2 pick for Seattle.
Okay.
You got to if Seattle had the number 7 pick, yeah. Yeah. But I think Seattle could trade this pick, get a first-round pick, and maybe a later first-round pick this year. Like, I think they could trade with one of the I will go to the Mystics and say, give me your 6 for the number 2 and give me your first-round pick next year. I think the Mystics will do it. Give me your number 6 pick for the number 2. That way we pick 3 in a row. We can't miss. We got 3 picks in a row. It ain't no way. We got 3 picks in a row. We can't miss. I can see something like that, or even I thought the Liberty traded the number 7 pick.
Yes, Connecticut.
Huh?
To Connecticut, yes.
So Connecticut has that 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Connecticut has 7 and 8.
Yes.
I can see Seattle going to Connecticut saying, hey, give me your 7 and 8 for number 2. Give me your 7 and 8 for number 2. Because nothing in this draft outside of them just being typical role players helps Seattle. And Seattle is still in win now mode, because if they wasn't, they wouldn't have brought this team back. They would have went into the trade market, not just trading Jewel, they would have traded the whole team away, because they can first round pick for Scholar right now. They can literally, if they wanted to blow this team up, they can get a first for Scholar and probably 2 seconds for Necker. Like, they can literally get draft picks if they wanted to blow this team up, but apparently they're still trying to win. So if I'm Seattle, I don't see how they keep this number 2 pick if Flau'jae don't comes out, because nobody in this draft at number 2 helps them. Maybe take a chance on Cheyenne Sellers, see if she can grow under Scholar for 2 years. But even then, Sellers on Seattle doesn't excite me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I said Seattle's in win now mode, and if you're in win now mode, you're trying to get all the pieces to win. Obviously, they didn't expect Jordan to come to suffer an ACL tear as well, and I think that is why the number 2 pick will be on move, because now you lost Jewel and Jordan, you know. So I think they've signed some people to contracts that they're trying to fill out their roster, their bench. They got Lexi Brown. I think they tried to add like 3-point shooting and stuff. So it's like if they traded away the number 2 pick,
you think they would trade it for picks? Because it's all like you thinking player.
That's kind of like how because I'm like, you trying to win. You need to replace Horston and Jewel. They signed some cool people, no shade, no tea, but neither one of them is giving. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that's help.
And that's the only reason. That's the only reason why I said Sony, not because I think Sony's a lottery pick, but Olivia's gone. Listen, the draft is on his head now. Let's stop looking at all of this like, oh my God. You know, Paige is the only person who is a lottery pick to me in this draft. Like, as far as how y'all think of lottery picks, franchise player, no. Everyone else is a role player. So Chicago lost Jewel Lloyd and Jordan Horston. They have Gabby. Gabby's likely going to play the 3, okay? And Jordan, they probably was going to push to the 2, or they probably was going to interchange them, because I think Jordan was playing the 3 before Gabby came back. So they probably was going to do that, and that would have worked without Jewel, and then you add their backups, a backup 2 and a backup 3, and you might, you getting in the semifinals possibly. You feel me? So that's what I'm thinking. So the only reason why I said Sony was because a backup 3 like Sony is good. Now, I'm not saying you building no team around her, and when it blows up next year, I don't know, but that's the only reason why I was thinking they need a backup 3 or whatever the case may be. Otherwise, yeah, I kind of do think they trade the number 2 pick for a player if they can, just because what else? Like, you got to fill that 2 and that 3, and you are in win now mode. You got to get a player that's going to set that precedent. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know because I don't think they win without doing that, without getting a solid player. And none of them are in free agency.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking while you was talking, I'm literally thinking about a player that would be worth that number 2 pick that a team would give up. Because there's players on teams that are worth the number 2 pick, but I'm thinking the teams that give up that player for the number 2 pick. I don't think it's out there, because that number 2 pick, it ain't getting you whoever you replace. It ain't gonna replace whatever you giving up for that number 2 pick. Because most number 2 picks, you're getting an all-star caliber player back for a top 3 pick, right? I don't think there's a top 3 pick player in college that's coming out this year.
No.
So
I'm talking about I'm talking about trade. What you think teams aren't willing to trade their player? I'm talking about trade for a player. You don't
that's what I'm talking about. No, that's what I'm saying. Trading that you see is not the pick key. It's the player you're getting with that pick. I don't think there's a player in college that's coming out that's going to replace whatever you're possibly going to be having to give up for that pick.
This is how I feel. I feel like if you're a team that is rebuilding, because look, what about Brittany on or Slim on Mystics? I think they give up Slim for the number 2 pick, maybe something else. I think they do. Because of what Mystics are about to do a little dance. They are. They not looking to.
So you're saying Slim and the numbers. You say a Slim pick for the number 2.
Yeah, you don't think so?
No, she can't shoot. They need shooting. She can't shoot. Look, I'm about to tell you this. That's funny. Ariel Atkins is the perfect person for this trade. Ariel Atkins is literally the perfect person for this trade. That's wild. Ariel Atkins is literally, she can shoot, she can defend, and she would fit well next to Skylar and Nneka. Ariel Atkins is
and
literally,
Gabby.
And Gabby is literally the player for this trade. Literally. That's why I ain't really been saying. The whole time you talking, I'm like, really, I'm combing through all the teams that would give up a player. Seattle was just $1 too late. They missed the window. Olivia Miles declared too late. They missed the window. Like, that's the only player. That's the perfect player. Because I'm trying to think of.
I knew Olivia wasn't going to Seattle. People kept telling me that. I'm like, all right, she ain't going there.
You know, hold on. You trying to start something. So you saying Olivia stayed because she didn't go to Seattle? Is that what you getting at?
Let me tell you, no.
I didn't say this, y'all. Key is saying this. I didn't say this. Don't be writing me on Instagram. Don't be threatening me. Key said this.
I did not say that. I just knew she wasn't going to. People kept telling me she going to Seattle, and I just knew she wasn't going there. Rather she declared or not, I knew she wasn't going to Seattle. I ain't scared to say that. I knew she wasn't going. I'm not saying she didn't want to go to Seattle. I just knew she wasn't going there for multiple reasons. I don't think she fits on Seattle at all. Like, at all. Not even a little bit. She don't fit.
So with that statement though, Key, it had nothing to do with Notre Dame then. It was all about Seattle. Her move was about Seattle. So I need you to take all that back.
No, that's
not that beautiful black lady.
That's not what I said. No,
y'all out there that's listening. We holding Key accountable.
No.
She made her statement. So everything you said about that beautiful black lady, I need you to take it back. Coach Neil Ivy did no wrong. This was all Seattle.
No, y'all. That's them not the words out of my mouth. I said what I said about Niel, and I'm saying what I'm saying now. It's hilarious that Atkins would be better on Seattle, and we got her. That is jokes for sure. The comments is funny. Everybody talking about make me apologize because of the Ariel Atkins thing.
Yeah.
I think y'all don't understand that I had no issue with Ariel Atkins. I had no issue with her. No, I didn't. I didn't have no issue with her. Her as a player, I wasn't upset that we got her. I was glad that we got her. It was the trade that happened around it that I didn't like at the time. That was it. So that's it. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens to this number 2 pick. It's getting close to we got 2 weeks to the draft.
Yeah.
We got 2 weeks to the draft. So they better move it. You better figure something out. Because if you want to win now, you're going to have to fill them spots.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know what their game plan is when you down 2 players to torn ACLs. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see the movement. More transfer portal movements, maybe more commitments coming from these players. The draft is April 14th at 7:30 Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. And then the portal closes April 24th, from my understanding. Okay, so a lot of movement coming in April, y'all. A lot of movement. A lot of good women's basketball stuff. Is going to get real juicy. I'm excited to see where everybody goes. Honestly, I'm excited to see where Olivia goes. Zoe said he already has the the thumbnail.
Hey, look, Key. I'm working on a one day because the portal closes on the 24th. So I'm actually working on creating a list. One day we'll do one of these weeks coming up. We might give y'all 2 shows 1 week because I want to do a portal special. I'm gonna create a doc and we're gonna go through each player. We're gonna probably do the top 20 best players in the portal and pick the school that they will fit best at. One of these weeks. Next 2 weeks, y'all stay tuned. We might give y'all a 2 episode week. So stay tuned. We're gonna pick the top 20, maybe top 15, depending on if it's 20 players that's talkable. It might be 15, but we're gonna give y'all a special. We'll create a doc and we'll both pick the team and why, and see where we land.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Because the portal is still jumping. So we gonna see. We're definitely gonna see for sure. But listen, as soon as we know what Flau'jae is doing, we'll let y'all know. So come straight to my page or Zoe's page. As soon as you see something, we'll let y'all know. Y'all know my email. Y'all know Zoe's email. If y'all see it first, email me. Key Flau'jae is declaring. Key Flau'jae is staying. You know what I'm saying? Let me know where Olivia goes. You know, those are the top 2 I really want to see. I'm interested in Latson a little bit too. I am interested. She has a certain type of play style. I'm not in love with it, but I am. She's talented, so I'm interested to see where she goes. I think it's somebody else I'm kind of interested in too. People off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think who else entered.
I know Cody, but I never got to see her really play. Off of Ohio State, Cody entered the draft.
Oh yeah, Cody. They talking about her. They talking about LSU probably targeting her as well.
Gianna Neekins.
Oh yeah,
LSU.
yeah.
LSU. Yeah. Gianna Neekins.
Yeah.
What team was she on? Do you remember what team?
I don't remember what team she was on.
Damn.
I don't remember what team she was on.
She's probably not used to the SEC, but that is a great player. I think she's a wing. Look it up, Kim. She's a great player. Look it up.
Yeah, she was on Utah.
Utah. What conference is that?
Utah is Big 12, Big 10. Is it Big 10? Big 12.
Okay. We're gonna have some players coming from over there to the SEC. It's okay. Come on over to the SEC. See how
because Utah is in the same conference as I think Kansas State, Kansas State, Colorado. I'm trying to think who else in that conference. Baylor. What conference Baylor in? All of them in the same conference, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I really be paying attention to the SEC so hard, it don't even make sense. So, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Shout out to Cart Blanco for the $10 super chat. Cart Blanco said, "Great show. Thank you, Cart. Appreciate you coming through and supporting as usual.
Appreciate it.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.
So listen. I know you guys watched the USC versus UConn game, and even the game before that. We got our weekly all-star. It's gonna be paigebueckers, Paige Buckets. They like to call her as well. She's turned it up a notch. We could get to a whole discussion on why she's realizing she's her or not, whatever. But we're just glad she's realizing it. I love what I'm seeing from her aggressiveness on both ends of the floor. I mean, she's killing it. Some of them shots, man, I'm like, I didn't know her release was that quick. I ain't never seen her shoot like that. Seriously. I don't know if maybe
her little elbow shot she getting used to. Her little pull up, 1-2 dribble pull up.
Mm-hmm. Some of them threes too, though. She hit some that was just
yeah. Of them back screens.
I'm like, damn, she let that go quick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Paige. I'm loving what she's doing. Hey, I got UConn in the championship game personally. I got them getting past UCLA. But we're gonna see this Friday. Listen, y'all, Paige is now third in UConn scoring. Breanna Stewart and Maya Moore are only in front of her. She reached it 30 games before I think the previous people, and she's third when she was out, 2 years? Imagine if Paige don't get hurt, she might be number one passing Maya Moore. I understand. Yeah. I'm not saying this. I understand how people just really underestimate her, but Paige is gonna be a scary sight in the WNBA. I'm telling you that now. I know people think she's passive, humble, all of that, but Paige is one of them ones. Seriously, she was about to pass Maya Moore injury. That's crazy work. So shout out to Paige, man. Shout out to Paige. And look, y'all already know. We're here Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. But on Mondays at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, we also have Stars Hoop Central with myself, HD, B Sports Buzz, I Am Zone Media, Shamaria, and Showtime. It's a 6-person panel where we talk about some great topics, then to some big topics, get into the nitty-gritty, and just give y'all some of our opinions from our minds. So check this out.
No room for complaints. Bounce that thought, let the dialogue reign. Star Hoop Central, we reign in the game. Fast break the logic, no time for delay. Full court press, every word that we say. From zones to the man, the schemes we unweave. Breaking the box score, we don't just believe. Debate in the key, where the clutch get defined. MVP stats or the heart in the grind. Legends get forged in the fires of our chat. Star Hoop Central, where the real game's at.
Hey, make sure y'all come through on Mondays and keep coming back through on Wednesdays. I know y'all love to listen to us. I got people who listen to us while they're doing their homework, driving, all kind of stuff. So appreciate y'all coming through. We are nothing without y'all. So continue to come and support, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, again, come on over to YouTube. You can still listen on Facebook, but subscribe, support, so that we can keep doing this kind of thing. But we need y'all to come over, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Turn the all notifications button on so you know exactly when we go live as well. My page is WBB Universe. It's all one word, WBB Universe. And Zoe's page is I Am Zoe Media. It's all one word. So come on over, search that, and then make sure you subscribe. You got any last words, Zoe?
No, man, great show. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. Hey, look, y'all rocked with us for 2 hours. Look, for 2 hours we had. I was looking, like, for 2 hours we had minimum like 200 people, 60 people in here. Kind of fell off towards the end, but like for 2 hours we had this thing rocking. I seen people in the chat key that I ain't never seen before on your channel or mine. So shout out to everybody who found the page from Facebook or just it being live on YouTube, because I seen people in the chat I never seen before. So shout out to everybody for pulling up and just continuing to support the channel.
For sure, for sure. Thank y'all so much. You know, we're going to catch y'all on the next Excuse the Takeover episode next Wednesday, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. Be safe out there, y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Let me say this, though. Chat, I know we don't get to y'all comments unless y'all super chat. So if y'all really want us to get to your comment, make sure you send us a super chat. It could be 99 cents. As long as super chat allows it, you send us a super chat, we'll read them. But we do see y'all comments. Our show, that's why our topics are so strategic. Chat, it's for y'all to interact with each other as well, because I know a lot of y'all friends on YouTube and stuff like that. So our topics, I love the communication y'all have with each other, debating with each other in the chat. That's what our show is really about. It's really about bringing the world together, having conversations that they normally wouldn't have with people they normally wouldn't meet. So chat, through our episodes, continue to interact with each other. We read the chats. Y'all be funny. I love reading y'all going back and forth in the chat. So during our shows, we see your chats. We just only do super chats. We only acknowledge super chats, but continue to have that dialogue with each other. I love it. I love seeing y'all have that dialogue with each other.
Yeah, it makes everything better. Hogboss said the new ESPN. Don't do Hogboss. That's a little bit disrespectful. We better than ESPN now. Come on now. The new ESPN, we are on Excuse the Takeover, ETT. ETT, Excuse the Takeover with WBB Universe, where you know I'm going to hit you with the key facts, and Prince, where he going to give you the breakdown. Again, y'all be safe out there, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Excuse the Takeover, taking charge, women's game front and center, living large. Hit that subscribe, stay tuned to the ride. We bringing the heat, never gonna hide. Analyzing chat, every stat, interact, breaking barriers. No cap, that's a fact. Leave a comment below, watch the growth unfold. Together we gon' make this story be told.